Welcome back to Vor's Physical Media. I'm Vanessa and he's Charles. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and keep hitting that bell notification to let you know every single time that we post a video. Well, we've got a Shout Studios review for you, and it is the 4K of Far and Away, starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And it is number 170 in the line. In the back. And it has original artwork. And there is disc artwork. Okay, so this movie actually starts off in Ireland, and Nicole Kidman's character is kind of a rich girl. Her father owns a bunch of properties, and he's like the landlord, and he owns actually the land that Tom Cruise and his family actually lives on. Well, it first starts off with a tragedy. Tom Cruise's father dies, and he has always said, well, you want to know what? I'm not dealing with this landlord crap anymore. I want to own my own land. That's pretty much his goal in this movie. And he figured, since the landlord is the one that came in and burnt down his family house, that he was going to go and kill the landlord. Well, he gets there. Obviously, it doesn't happen that way. And he eventually gets caught and is kind of stuck in the landlord's house. And the landlord finally figures it out that he didn't really know what was going on. He was just collecting money, and his goons were the ones that were going out and doing the things that he didn't realize were happening. Well, Nicole Kidman wants to run away. She doesn't want to be with her rich society family because she's kind of like the oddball. She's not like her mom. She's more like her dad, more free-spirited. And she knew that Tom Cruise's character, obviously is set to pretty much die. So she figured that she would rescue him and bring him along, and he be her, I don't want to say young companion, but kind of like her servant type of a deal while they're on the ship to America, because America is giving away free land. Well, there's a catch, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. Well, they get to Boston, and things do not go the way she was planning or he was planning, and Tom Cruise they both end up working for a chicken company where they pretty much,
like a Fight Club.
Yeah. And then he ends up doing that, and the more money, the more fights he wins, because back in the day when they did like that Fight Club, it wasn't weight class or anything, so you could have somebody small to somebody huge. And he would normally earn like around $4 a fight, which is pretty good back in those days. It was like 18 something. Well, he's like, well, if I keep doing this, and I figured it out, if he get $4 a night, he only needed $25 to go and get this land. Well, of course, he made the money, and then he spent the money. And he told everybody that Nicole Kidman was his sister, so that she kind of wouldn't get lost and misused or anything. And obviously, they kind of fall in love with each other, but can't really say that they fell in love with each other, because to everybody, they're brother and sister. Well, this last fight he has with an Italian, they cheat for one, and she decided to be one of those like can dancer type things, and he was trying to get her covered up and not to do this, because there's other ways. Like, he has no problem fighting to do what he needs to do to get them money, but it kind of goes awry, and they kind of get kicked out of the place they're living, and then now they're on the streets. And turns out her family actually came over to America because everybody in Ireland was getting sick of the landlord shit, kind of like the same thing, and burnt down his house, and they came here and pretty much did what Nicole Kidman wants. Well, she ends up getting shot, and he brings her back to her family and pretty much takes off and does his own thing. She does her own thing, and they end up seeing each other back again at the end of this film. And towards the end of this film, there's this great race that there's a bunch of land in Oklahoma, and that has all these flags, and you pay to get your own flag, and you have your own horse, your buggies, everything, and you pretty much race to get the land that you want to get. And that's pretty much what this movie is about. You want to add anything?
You got railroad working along the way. The house she was talking about was a whorehouse.
Yeah.
Which the, I guess the pimpette of the whorehouse, she figured out that they wasn't brother and sister pretty quick, because they could see the connection between both of them.
They could see that, the tension,
This is actually a Ron Howard film. I remember seeing this when I was younger. I did not like it. I ended up turning it off before it even got really moving. It was just not a movie I guess I wanted to see when I was younger. I actually rather enjoyed it. I'm not a big Nicole Kidman by any means. I never really cared for her. I like Tom Cruise in most of his movies. But this is a very solid movie. It's about 2.5 hours. You don't feel the runtime. It pretty much sets the story and just flows from there.
Yep.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it does it. There's no down part where it gets too slow and you kind of get bored. It, like you said, it literally just flows all the way through where you can't keep your eyes off the screen.
But I'll let her read the special features.
Yeah, because they put it under orange, so it's kind of hard to read if you don't have a really bright light. So disc 1 is the 4K, and that has a new 4K transfer from the 35mm inner positive, approved by the cinematographer Michael Salomon. If I say that right, I apologize. It is presented in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. We will get to that with the Dolby Atmos when I'm done. Disc 2 is your Blu-ray, has the new 4K transfer from the 35mm inner positive, and it has a new Enterprise or Love, the story of Far and Away, feature-length look back at the making and legacy of the film, including brand new interviews with director Ron Howard, producer Brian Grazer, writer/producer Bob Dolman, Michael Solomon, executive producer, second unit director Todd Hallowell, stunt coordinator Walter Scott, editor Daniel Hanley, sound designer Foley, editor Chick. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's spelled Ciccolini the third. Cast member Clint Howard, and more. And there's a photo gallery and a theatrical trailer.
Dolby Vision, I'd say it's a step up from the Blu-ray, but not much. This is not a movie that's going to wow you as far as picture. It's a very dull background.
Well, it was also set in like the 1800s, so the colors and everything in that wasn't super bright. It was, especially in Boston, it was very gloomy and drowsy type of a look.
Yeah. If you're expecting a great picture, you're not going to get it. It looked somewhat decent. It wasn't like blow off the type screen type thing. Dolby Atmos,
I don't know why it was there.
You really couldn't hear nothing with it other than when there was explosions, which was here and there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hear all the whispering and the talking. I guess for that aspect of Dolby Atmos, that really works. You didn't have to adjust your volume.
But I don't think you needed it in this one
Mm-mm.
because it wasn't enough to really do. It was more center speaker than it was back speakers, surround speakers, front
Yep.
any of that channel, however many channels you may have. You didn't really notice too much of it.
Mm-mm.
Not much noise going in the background other than a few talks here and there, which had nothing pertaining to what was actually going on.
Yeah.
So you probably wouldn't be paying attention to that anyways, at least I wasn't.
No, I think the most of the time you really heard with the talking in the background was especially
In the Fight Club.
the Fight Club,
And then with the explosions and whatnot,
the gunshots and
the
whatnot,
gunshots,
with
and then
the race.
the racing, you heard a little bit, but not
Mhm.
not that much. Overall picture, I would probably say 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dolby Atmos, I would give it a 1.
Because didn't really need it.
You couldn't even notice that it was there.
No.
It didn't feel like it was Dolby Atmos because you didn't have that like grand stage. Even at the center, you didn't have it.
No.
But I don't think you would have noticed if it was in DTS or that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but you did have special features. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, it was a good movie. I really enjoyed the movie. But as far as the movie itself, I would definitely give it a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Would I watch it again? Yes. Would I watch it right away? No.
No.
Probably about a year or so down the road, I would definitely watch it. So it's definitely worth a pickup. I would wait for a sale.
I apologize for our neighborhood.
It's not one of those. The pickup day one. It's
No.
not. Just wait for a sale. It's not worth the $32.99 price tag.
Mm-mm.
Unless you're a big Tom Cruise fan and this is your favorite movie,
Then I would pick it
then
up.
it's probably the best you're ever gonna possibly see it until 8K hits the
Yeah.
shelves. So.
Whenever that happens.
So we're not even up to par on 4K yet,
No.
so. But that is our review on Far and Away, starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman and
Kidman.
Ron. Yeah, whatever. His ex-wife. Nobody cares about her. A Ron Howard film.
And a tidbit, most of Ron Howard's films, his brother and his father are actually in these films.
Probably better actors than Nicole Kidman. But,
And his brother is actually the guy who plays the ice cream man.
and he was from Tix.
Yes.
But that's our review on Far and Away. Solid down the board. 3 out of 5 is what I would give the total package.
Mhm.
That is really not. I can't go no higher than that because the Dolby Atmos kind of ruined it for me because it didn't need it,
No.
and you didn't even notice that it had Dolby Atmos.
Mm-mm.
I didn't.
No, I didn't notice it either.
Wait for a sale. That is our review on Ron Howard's Far and Away.
Mhm.
Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, Shout,
Yes.
for sending this our way. See you on next one.
Bye.